Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fantasy Tip Show. Apologies for the delay, having trouble with the stream yet and everything. But hey, FPL Graduates are back with me. It's going to be a short show because they have a show in just a few minutes. So, hi, Josh.
Hi, how you doing, man?
Not good. Arsenal made me feel terrible the other day. FA increased the trouble, and now Streamed is doing the same. But hey, we can survive for one show. Ben, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. Happy to be on the show again.
No problem. So, Josh, how did your game week 22 go?
Yeah, it weren't too bad, considering I had a captain blank. 74, a lot higher than the average, but the top 10k average was about, I think, 76. So just below that, so not too bad. Brought in Areola as my transfer this week, 2 points. That's a lot better than McCarthy. So that was a good move in hindsight. Justin, he's cracked 15-pointer. What a lovely return that is. Clean sheet goal, 3 bonus points. He does the job. The standard City double up, 6-pointers actually played this time, which was great. Bruno Fernandes getting a late haul in that 9-0 victory. I was buzzing. 17 points. Probably should have captained him, but before that game, no one's predicting 9-0. Not a chance. Son, very, very disappointing. Spurs look really, really bad right now. 2-pointer. I don't know if I'm making a transfer yet this week, but if it is, it's probably going to be him. Raheem Sterling got himself a goal. Salah, very disappointing, captain blank. Losing to Brighton at home. They haven't scored at Anfield in ages. It's very disappointing from Mo. Pereira, a bit disappointed, but he pretty much carried me last week, so I can't really complain too much. Antonio with 2 assists. I thought he was unlucky not to get bonus. And then Bamford with an assist as well. And then Cresswell on the bench who got the 1 point. I thought it was a solid week given no captaincy return.
Yeah, I remember Ben saying in the last shows we did that after Salah scored against West Ham, he captained him immediately. I was like, I'm not sure like that he'll score every single time. But yeah, that is kind of sad. But Liverpool look like they've dropped off. These days, no one is going for their defenders anyway. Antonio, as you said, definitely should have gotten a few bonus points. But let's go into Ben's team first. Next, how did you do this week, Ben?
Yeah, I had a similar sort of story with my team as to Josh's. 72 points overall, and I'll take it. Bit frustrating that the average around my rank was about 76 points. So I had a slight red arrow, about 30,000 I dropped, which is crazy for a 70-point week. But we'll go into the players now. In goal, I had McCarthy. Now, I got away with one here, coming away with a 0-pointer. He made two save points. He actually played relatively well. And now I've got to see, because last time Southampton lost 9-0, they changed their keeper and they changed it to McCarthy. Will they change it again to Forster? That's one that I've got to wait and see now. In defence, Diaz and Cancelo both started. I mean, all the big City defensive assets started this week. They played a different sort of formation to the one we've seen. So happy to get 6 points from the both of them. Justin with 15 points, had him since the start of the season. He is the hero of my team this season, the hero of Ben's FPL. Can't ask for much more than the goal. I went absolutely crazy when that goal went in. And Cresswell, it was annoying. I feel like they could have got a clean sheet. It got taken away from him in like the 81st, 82nd minute, but he played pretty well overall, so I'm not too fussed about that. Fernandes with a 17-pointer. Yes, it was nice, but because I didn't captain him, didn't really mean too much to me. I would have been fine if he hadn't even returned, because it's the sort of player he is, expected ownership over 100%. Maddison, another one of my Leicester picks, getting a double-digit return again. He's one of the most informed players in the league. Loving life of Maddison right now. Son and Salah, yet again, these 2 big hitters, highly owned, letting me down again. Bit concerning, and they've got to bounce back again. Salah has to, surely. Up top, Antonio, who's becoming a regular point scorer in my team, and Ings. I mean, as soon as that red card happened, it was always going to be a bad decision. But we're looking forward to the next 2 games with Southampton, because I do genuinely believe that they'll come out and play really strong, because Vestergaard's coming back, and coming back at the right time as well. And then on the bench, Target, Anguissa, Brewster and Forster. Again, not too much to say about that. I'll be looking to transfer out at least 3 of these 4 subs within the next sort of 3 or 4 game weeks.
How about Son? Isn't Son like really disappointing?
Yeah, I was really disappointed with him. I was disappointed with the way Spurs played really as a whole. They even I saw a clip of in the Chelsea game. They're half an hour in, 1-0 down and walking back. So it's very much a concern. And I think without Harry Kane in that team, Son is not even half the player that he is compared to when Kane is in that team.
Awesome. Yes, you have 2 Leicester players, but there's one best player from Leicester you didn't pick yet, but we'll talk about him some other time. So for my team this week, it was, by the way, how many points did you have again, Ben?
72.
Josh?
I think 72 as well. So I think something around
74. You had 74.
74.
I keep an eye on what my rivals are on.
So I had Areola in goal, just like Josh. I had Kufal kind of close to keeping a clean sheet, I'd say. So close. Stones also in the starting lineup. Keane came on. We'll talk about that in the last 5 minutes. Saka, let's be honest, Josh and Ben. Saka would have had 30 points in that game in the first 10 minutes. I couldn't believe all those goals are not like being disallowed and all that. Sterling, captain, misses a lot of chances every time. That's what annoys me with him. Fernandes, just like Josh, I wish I captained him. Son, disappointing. I've just asked Ben that question because if I had an extra sub, I'd take him out. Antonio, brought him in this week. Returns, I brought him in for Kane. Lacazette, an assist, I'll take that 45 minutes in. And then Wilson also got an assist. I didn't know he had an assist in that game, so I was happy with that. Now, Keno's on my bench. He was the first sub. No, Keno's in my starting lineup, and then Webster was my first sub. So the moment I saw Webster keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool, I think the games kind of collided almost at the same time, if I'm not wrong. I was begging Keane not to come on. I was begging Ancelotti not to bring on Keane because I knew Webster. It was actually on 1 bonus point until the final minutes. So I would have had that extra 5 points from Webster, but hey, I'll take it anyway. 65 points, but with the red arrow, which means a lot of people scored highly this week. Not sure why, because maybe the United players scored all of them and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, 65 less than these guys, but I'll take it either way. I'm happy with that. So yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's been an interesting week because there's a lot of high scores, but like a lot of weird arrows because I've had a green arrow and Ben's had a red arrow and we're quite similar in rank. So it's been quite an interesting one.
Yeah, let me Ben get us through the fixtures for the next game.
I'll just get that up. Hang on. There we go. So these are the fixtures for Game Week 23, I think it is now.
Yeah.
So obviously, starting off with a huge game, aren't we, Glenn? Aston Villa against Arsenal, followed by Burnley, Brighton, a bit of a dead rubber fixture, and then Newcastle, Southampton, one I'll be interested in. Fulham, West Ham, and then Manchester United against Everton. Then on the Sunday, we got Spurs against West Brom, Wolves against Leicester, Liverpool against Man City, the biggest game of the weekend, followed by Sheffield United against Chelsea. And then on Monday night, we got Leeds, who are at home to Crystal Palace.
Okay, yes, very big game first up. Last time out, they absolutely trashed us. Like Watkins, Barkley, Grealish, they were very good in that game. The fixtures I'm looking forward to this week, I'll probably say United against Everton. Usually Josh's team doesn't really do that well against Everton. Okay, not recently. You've beaten them recently, obviously, especially this season away from home twice. The other fixture I'm looking forward to will probably be Sheffield, Chelsea. I actually feel like if I had a couple of extra subs, I'd love a Chelsea player in. But the problem is we don't know who's going to play. It looks like right now Tuchel is kind of rotating, especially forward line. The only player who has started both games is Hudson-Odoi. Ziyech started the first one. Werner started a couple. Abrams started a couple. Giroud started a couple. So it's all over the place. But I'm looking at Rudiger as a potential player to bring in this for the run of the games from now till the end of the season. So those are my 2 fixtures, Josh.
Yeah, I like the Rudiger pick. 4.5 million in a Chelsea defence that's yet to concede a goal since Tuchel's come in. I think he's a great option. For me, I'm looking at the Monday night game, Leeds Palace. I've got Bamford in, obviously, and I think Leeds could do some damage there. Equally, Palace without Zaha. So that would be interesting to see how Eze picks up the slack. And another one for me that I'm really looking forward to is the West Ham Fulham fixture, because I could be captaining a player in that game.
Fulham and West Ham.
Mm.
So I'm definitely not a Fulham player, I'm guessing.
Who knows? Ariola might get it.
Hey, all I'm saying is it's definitely interesting to me as well, that fixture.
Are you expecting a big victory, Ben?
I mean, last time West Ham played Fulham, I believe it was 3-1 to West Ham. So they scored goals. And Fulham, I know they've been defensively sound in recent weeks, but I've seen frailties in that defence. I've seen them, and I've earmarked out a player who I think can exploit that defence. So definitely looking forward to that one, and interesting to see how Fulham and West Ham approach this game.
Okay, and any other fixtures you're looking forward to?
I mean, I would, if we're not looking at form and we're looking at fixtures only, you've got to say the Spurs West Brom. West Brom, a team who can't defend against Spurs with Son in there. But as we know, Spurs have been struggling to score recently. So, yeah, I would say that one. But I'm not overly confident that there's going to be too many goals in that one, to be honest.
Okay, and then Josh Shiv asks Rafinha, Saka, or Soucek?
For right now, I choose Rafinha. For some reason, the guy's gone down in price despite scoring like nearly 30 points in the last 3 or 4 game weeks. It's absolutely crazy why people are shipping him out. I think he's the best option out of those 3. He looks quite lively at the minute, quite in form. Although Soucek is a fantastic option as well as Saka. I think out of those 3, I'd choose Rafinha right now.
This Soucek guy keeps scoring every single week.
He's got 8 goals this season already. It's crazy.
Do you think right now, if you bringing him right now, he'll like start blanking from now till the end of the season and get only 1 more goal?
Nah, I think he'll keep it up. He's the top scoring midfielder underneath Bruno Fernandes in the Premier League in the last calendar year. So he's got good numbers. He's proven he had the good numbers when he came from Slavia Prague, I do believe. So I think he'll keep it up. He's got a great finish on him. You saw the goal against Aston Villa. It was a fantastic goal. So I think he'll keep it up for sure.
Okay, let's get into the captain picks for Game Week 23. I'll start with you, Josh. Who are you captaining? You've given us a tip.
It's not set in stone.
Who are you considering? Yeah,
it's not set in stone just yet. Don't get me wrong. But it's looking like Antonio is my favourite at the minute, just because I feel like he's bound to score. I've seen all the stats. I think Ben retweeted it on our Twitter today. He's due a goal, and he's been getting the assist as well. West Ham look good. I hope Jayling starts again. He's been playing fantastic in that game against Villa. But then equally, Bruno Fernandes against Everton. He got a huge haul at Goodison Park earlier in the season. So I might opt for him as well. I think they're the 2 favourites in my team at the minute.
Ben?
Yeah, you can see my team just here right now. I've actually benched Target at home to Arsenal, so I think Arsenal are going to score in that game. But yeah, Antonio as well for me in the. You're looking at the stats, and Antonio is top of the list for due a goal statistically, with 4 big chances total and 14 attempts in the last couple of weeks. So in the last 4 game weeks, so. He is definitely due some huge returns, and I'm hoping it's going to be against Fulham away. I think captaincy is pretty much set for me, and this team is pretty much set for me. I've gone double City defence as well. It's a risk that I'm willing to take, you know. I think potentially if one of those City defenders doesn't play, I'll be okay with Target coming off the bench anyway. So I think guaranteed one of them starts, and yeah, I'm looking to roll my transfer and bring in 2 players next week instead of playing any transfers this week.
Now, I don't know if Josh was speaking about Antonio. I've really considered him, just like Shiv in the chat. Very, very good player. Someone asks about bringing in Lingardinho. If I had an extra sub, I'd actually bring him in, because against Fulham, I feel like he's going to notch up another brace again. But the one I'm really, really looking at, it's not a surprise, Ben. He said Arsenal is going to score, and if Arsenal is going to score, any idea who's going to score?
Well, I think you'd hope for it to be Lacazette, wouldn't you?
I'll hope for an assist.
I think Bukayo Saka is in some great form at the moment, and I think he probably should have he was unlucky not to score against Wolves, wasn't he? So I do believe he'll score against this Villa side. I was looking at the stats of this Villa defence. It's not as good as it was earlier in the season when Villa beat you. So I think there are frailties there to expose and exploit, and I think potentially this Arsenal team going forward need to prove something, need to bounce back after that Wolves game. So they could do something in that Aston Villa game.
You could just have talked about Saka without mentioning the game from last year. I would still have gotten the point anyway. So, by the way, in that game, Saka did score an own goal, by the way, that Aston Villa game last year.
He's already scored one for Villa.
Exactly. So you can get a couple of in. There's your answer. That's my captain for this week. I am going for it. I'm tired of going for the usual ones. The likes of Sterling are not giving me the number of points I want. So Saka is going to be my captain. I'm expecting a high-scoring game in that match. Maybe like a 4-3, 4-2. So something like that. And he is my captain. Speaking of captains, Josh Kyler says Ings captain away to Newcastle.
Yeah, definitely a good shout. I think Southampton will bounce back well against Newcastle. It was not a 9-0 sort of game. I think the red card in the second minute really just overshadowed the whole thing. We saw Danny Ings playing like left back pretty much for the rest of the game. Ben's got him in. I know he obviously thinks he's gonna do bits for him. So yeah, especially this week where there's not really a standout captaincy option. I think he's a good option there.
Okay, and then Ben Shiv asks, start Martinez or Mesley?
I'd have to go for Melia this week. I mean, you look at Zaha out for Crystal Palace, their main sort of source of goals. So I'd be more than happy to have him starting. But as we've seen with Emi Martinez, he always racks up the save points. So I think he got 5 saves in the first half an hour against West Ham. So he racks up save points really quickly. So I don't think you're going wrong which one you start with, but I prefer to have Melia starting this week.
Awesome. And bringing in Sushek. Josh, I'll give you this from Ray. Bringing Sushek in for Jones. Is it a good one? I'll be back in 1 minute as you take that question.
Yeah, I think it is a good move. I saw Ray tweet it out. He's taking out Curtis Jones for Souček. It's an easy move because obviously Curtis Jones, a bit of rotation issues, not getting a lot of minutes, and Souček, as we said, scoring loads of goals this season. So a good pick from Ray. It'll be interesting to see what his team looks like later on FPL Fridays.
I like that switch as well. I kind of wish I had Souček in my team, to be honest, but it's like, who do I get rid of to bring him in? Do I really want to downgrade Son and then really spend the money elsewhere? It's difficult if you don't have him already to bring him in. So it's just good that Ray's obviously got that money in the bank to bring Souček in for Jones.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Son because obviously they've got West Brom, who are probably statistically the worst defensive team in the league. But then equally Spurs have been terrible going forward. Yeah. But Harry Kane, I know a lot of people like DMing us saying, what should I do with Son? I don't think even we know what to do with Son, to be honest.
Yeah, it's almost the ultimate form versus fixture question for the whole season. So yeah, you just got to go with your gut on that one. And I don't want to transfer out Son because he can be real explosive sometimes. And against West Brom, we saw what Arsenal did. We saw what other teams have done to West Brom this season. So I don't know. It's the toughest question of the season so far.
I might as well leave this show to FPL Graduates. We'll discuss that in the future when we become a channel with 1 million subscribers. And then gem of the week, Josh. Gem of the week.
It's an interesting one. I'm going to back the boy. I'm going to go Jesse Lingard. If he starts, it hopefully starts for West Ham because I feel like after bagging a brace against Aston Villa, he can only go up, and he's already gone up in price, £6 million. I think he'll do bits for that West Ham team. He already has. So J Lings for me.
Ben,
I'm just looking now. I might just have to go real outside the box here because I was going to say Jesse Lingard, annoyingly, but we'll let Josh have this one for now. I'm going to go for an outside the box pick. I'm going to go for a Southampton player. I'm going to go for Minamino. £6 million, 0.2% owned. He's going to come in. I think he's going to start. Walcott's out. Armstrong's out. They've not got many of the wingers. So They've got, they'll probably start with Minamino and Redmond on the wings or Gineppo. So you know what? We'll go Minamino. We'll go real outside the box pick this week. Hopefully, he can do something at Newcastle away. Defensively, they're not the best team. I think Southampton will keep a clean sheet this week. Ironically,
is it straight to the team though?
See, I don't know. I think he's been at the club long enough and trained. He's obviously been training at Liverpool as well, so we know he's going to be match fit. I think he possibly will start, because he's that sort of flair player that Southampton have kind of been missing over these past few weeks, and he'll really help boost Shea Adams and Danny Ings in creating chances. So hopefully he does start anyway for my sake anyway.
Okay, if he wasn't bought by that many people, I would have gone for sure. I'm liking him, Josh. I'm loving the way Shaw is moving forward. But the one I'm going to go for, Wolves versus Leicester. He scored last time out. Vardy is not back. That is my pick again. Kelechi Iheanacho. He's going to start and he's going to score another goal. That's for everyone who's watching this show. Ray, Arcade, Ben, Josh, all of you have had it again. Kelechi Iheanacho will score again this week. Vardy is not yet back. Wolves away. Wolves haven't been that good defensively. We would have scored 6 goals in that first 10 minutes. So Kelechi is my pick this time. Last time out, I freaked out from picking him, but this time I'm going to pick him. So that's my choice. But yeah,
I don't think he's starting this week. Vardy's back, isn't he?
Kelechi only needs 10 minutes to get a goal. He doesn't need to start the game. He only needs 10 minutes to get a goal. So
fair enough. You're backing it. You're backing it.
Questions for the week as usual. Josh, which 3 players will definitely score?
I'm going to go Patrick Bamford, Danny Ings, and Bruno Fernandes.
Ben?
I'm going to go Michel Antonio, James Maddison, my boy, and we'll go for Bruno Fernandes.
I'm actually going to go for Jay Rodriguez at Burnley against Brighton. Sorry, Josh, but I think
really
Josh King. Josh King will start and score against you again. Former United play, if I'm not wrong. And then the last one is going to be Leeds versus Crystal Palace. Bamford will definitely score. And then which team will definitely keep a clean sheet, Ben?
A team to definitely keep a clean sheet. Oh, I'm going to go for Leicester.
Leicester City, Josh?
Manchester City.
Manchester City. Wow, against Liverpool. Okay.
Nil written all over it.
I'll back that.
And then I'm going to go for Brighton. I don't. I actually say Jay Rodriguez will score, but Brighton will keep a clean sheet. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, Brighton will keep a clean sheet in that game. Could easily be a 0-0, just as Joshua said about Liverpool City. So apologies, guys. We couldn't make this longer this time round. I have a show in 15 minutes. Ben and Josh have a show in 15 minutes with Dre. So make sure you check them out. 50%. If you want FPL content, go and check FPL Graduates. If you want to see us cry about Arsenal, you can check out this other side. So thank you, guys. I'll try and jump on your show if I can. So thank you for watching again. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys